How's it going, guys? I'm Travis with Bunch Marine. Just kind of wanted to walk over this 224 Monterey that we have in stock right now. And the first thing you're going to notice is the platform off the back. Okay, so this is going to help with wakeboarders to get ready. Super convenient for whenever you're lounging off the back side of the boat. It's become a really big thing with boats nowadays. No matter what boat you have, bass boats, whatever have you, you're going to have a lot of people hanging out on the back side of the boat. Okay. Another cool thing too, you got coolers on the back side of the boat. You got one here and one on the port side as well. So I always tell people, if you got kids or something, it'll be nice to put adult drink somewhere else and then have your kids drink somewhere else as well too, so they know exactly where they're going to every time they're in the water. Don't have to jump back into the boat getting it all dirty with sand and grime. Another cool thing that Monterey's incorporated in here, and as you're seeing, is going to be the filler cushions. Okay, so I'm able to open this up for our camera girl to come in here and be able to get a closer look at everything on the inside of this boat. Very easy to clean flooring. Alright, so first things first, I'm going to come over here to the dash. So this is where the captain's going to be sitting. Typically, you're always going to have that down whenever you're exiting a dock, okay? So I used to be a delivery captain back home. My favorite thing whenever I'm docking is going to be this bolster seat. So I can sit up higher. As you can tell, I'm way above this. If someone's sitting in front of me at the bow of the boat, I'm able to see over everything. I have a clear visual of everything in front of me, so whenever I go to dock, I have visual on the left side of the boat and the right side of the boat whenever I'm trying to dock my boat. Another cool thing, whenever you get outside of the dock, I can get back down in here. So I'm actually down inside the cockpit, wind's gonna go over my head, and I'm able to actually drive this thing and have the wind, you know, just blowing over my head, so I don't have to worry about my hair get messed up or something if I'm going to Calhoun's on the lake, or on the river, I'm sorry. Another cool thing too, I have an adjustable steering wheel as well. I'm able to see all my gauges very easily. Got my blower right here. So before you start a boat like this, a bow rider, or not just a bow rider, I would say a stern drive or an inboard motor, you are going to want to hit that blower for at least 5 minutes before you start the motor. That's going to get rid of all the fumes, if any fumes are inside of that cockpit back there where your motor's going to be sitting. Okay, cut it off whenever you get done cranking it. You're ready to go for the day. Do it make sure it is make a mental note of being able to do that before you crank up every single time. What I tell people is, hey, got 5 more minutes before we part out. Go ahead and hit the blower. 5 minutes passes, I crank up my motor, cut it off, everybody's in the boat, we're ready to go. Navigation lights, docking lights, cockpit lights. Typically a lot of these are going to be standard panel options. Now it's going to depend on what boat you do get as to whether you get the cockpit lights or the docking lights. Docking lights are going to be an added-on feature from the factory, okay? Water system, if you have a water system inside the boat. Free accessory switch right there to be able to put whatever you want to. Your horn makes it to where you don't have to have a whistle. You already have a horn on board. And the bilge, most important thing, you do have an automatic bilge that's going to be wired straight to the battery in this boat. So if it does rain, say you get off the water, it starts raining, you forgot to pull the drain plug and you fell asleep whenever you got home, it's going to automatically bail out the water. Now, whenever that happens, you're going to want to make sure your battery is charged the next day, because it has been working overtime trying to make sure no water is in this boat. And engine data. So you have an engine data switch and an engine data gauge. So this is going to show you some of your engine data right here, and you can swap over what you want to see by just clicking the button. Alright, now you do have a fusion radio inside of this boat. You got 2 head units, this one right here and one on the side right there. Makes it to where whenever I'm driving, I don't have someone poking over my knee trying to touch this thing while I'm driving. They can just go right there, okay? Now obviously you don't want people walking around in the boat whenever it's going too fast. You only solely want to mess with that if you have to mess with it if you're touching the radio. But with these new radio systems nowadays, you don't have to have an aux cord, it's Bluetooth. Use your Bluetooth setting on your phone and you could safely be sitting in a seat and change the stereo and what you want to hear and everything. You can even change the volume as well too if you're talking to somebody. So Little food for thought whenever you're going out on the water. Now, another cool thing that you're going to see here is this huge lounge. Now, obviously, whenever the filler cushions are in, which I'll do right now, it makes a complete bench seat. For you to have a bunch of friends on the backside of this boat. Now, this boat is rated for 12 people on board. Obviously, allow room for gear in that 12 people, okay? But you have a bunch of room in here. I'm able to sit right back here, and I'm comfy. I mean, this thing is super comfy. I even have an OS handle here, so I'm able to grab that. I got that right there. Another thing, too, that you're going to find right here, if I'm sitting over here, there's a 12-volt outlet right here to go straight to the battery. Makes it to where I can plug in maybe a USB or a 12-volt to a USB outlet and charge my phone right here if I wanted to, which is super nice. I mean, especially if I'm sitting right here and I'm watching someone wakeboard behind me, wakeboard tower right here, so you can actually hook up the rope to the top, watch your guy behind you while the driver's driving, focusing on the thing that's in front of him. I'm able to watch and make sure that everything's going good with the guy behind me. Now, another thing you're going to notice is the bow. You got some good room in there for 2 people to sit on either side right there and overlook where you're driving to. The anchor locker up front as well. And that silver shiny thing in the very front right there, that's going to be your navigation light as well. And another cool thing that I really like about these boats is the windshield screen, okay? So I'm able to put this down, lock out the cameraman, and just sit down right here, and I got a windscreen just kind of blowing away all that wind. Now, obviously, you're going to have this opening right here. You're going to feel it on your legs, but not as much if you're over here or if you're over here. If your legs are right in here, then you're going to be in full contact with the wind. Now, you're going to be getting blocked a little bit by this, which actually helps out a good bit whenever you're starting to come back in and say it starts getting colder at night. And another thing you're going to notice as well, too, is the buttons on this boat. This does have a dual cockpit and bow cover that comes with this boat, a snap-in cover. It's actually one of my favorite covers to have on a boat, especially if you are docking your boat at your personal dock. Makes it to where you don't have to go all the way around this boat and then roll out this huge thing all the way to the back. It's so much easier, just come to the front of the boat, snap it on, come to here, start snapping in the other part, and then come all the way to the back, and guess what? You're out the boat, you're ready to go inside. But yeah, that's my breakdown of the Monterey. Hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully we see you sometime soon. Definitely come talk with one of us. We have Michael, Mike, Jeff, and myself, Travis. If you have any questions about this, please give us a call, email. Love to be able to have you here. Have a good day.